So I see, let's see. Okay. So we're going to get started now. All right. This is Changemakers. Hello, my name is Maya Bulchetta, and I will be your host for this evening now. This is, okay, let's share full screen. Let's go. Present. Present. Okay, let's put me over here. So this is Changemakers. Now let's chat a bit about what this is. Go to the next screen. All right. So my name is Maya Bulchetta. I am the founder of Hypotheus Picture House, which is a positive change film production company. So basically what I do and what we do is we create films that have components in them that can be turned into positive movements, products, and other things to create positive change. So they're like regular movies, regular narrative movies, but then there are elements that are taken from that and put into events and just to create positive change in the world. So it's a little bit of a different type of film production company. So I myself, I am an overcomer of unusual religious suppression. My father's side of the family was part of an oppressive Orthodox Jewish community, but it was a very unusual type because there's a lot of wonderful communities out there that are Orthodox Jewish, of course, but this one in particular had a lot of oppression to it. It was unusual. So they tried to force me into a lifestyle that wasn't mine. So that was a very big thing that I had to get over. So I learned what it felt like a lot to get my voice silenced. And now I've spent years just learning how to grow and how to be myself even more. So some of the different types of advocacy that I've done is Alzheimer's advocacy, mural creation. Let me see, is my microphone on? Yes. So mural creation for abuse survivors at a place called Sojourner House. UNICEF USA, I was invited to be a panelist speaker to talk about different positive change things that I've been working on with my company and what we can all do, especially back then during the pandemic, to help other people and help ourselves while we're doing that. I also did childhood advocacy for, I was a racetrack designer for a race with Formula E in New York not too long ago. And I also have done advocacy with refugees, like at the Refugee Dream Center in Providence, Rhode Island. So those are some of the brands that I've worked with. So Degree Deodorant, I was represented in the Rap magazine for our work at Refugee Dream Center. So yeah, those are just a few of the places. And this is my reel. So this is our production company reel. So I think playing this will give you a better idea of some of the types of films that we produce.
What am I, the watchdog around here? You think I have to bark and hound? Oh no, there's a guy stealing everything. You know what? I have a life too, you know. I have problems.
So that was our reel. And yeah, the Instagram page is no longer, I changed the name from Hypotheus Picture House, I think temporarily, just to 10-Day Filmmaker, because that's a course that I'm creating. So I temporarily changed the name to that. So you can find us there. Okay. So yeah, some people think volunteering and creating positive change requires a lot of money or a lot of time. That couldn't be further from the case. So, a lot of us just get drawn into doing different things, but we think, we don't have time for this. There's no way to do this. I need at least a gazillion hours or 10 hours a day or to make a real difference. That's not true. So the point of this webinar is to educate about the different free tools available on the internet, specifically through Google Chrome extensions that can allow you to create positive change on your own time. So for me, how I felt before I was focusing on change making, I felt really helpless in a lot of ways. During the pandemic, before I really delved into it, I felt really sad. You see all these things on the news and all these different things just going on, and it's just like, you want to do something, you know what I mean? And I think we all feel this way to a degree. We feel sad when we see a homeless person on the side of the road. We'd rather not see that happen. We're humans. We're not going to look at that and say, oh, good, a homeless person. No, we're not thinking that. But a lot of us, I think, we don't feel like we have the power or the control to do anything about it, that it's out of our hands, that it's kind of hopeless. And, I felt when I was doing just kind of watching different parts of the world, and I was looking for different advocacy movements and things like that I could join. But I didn't find a ton of stuff either, which was hard, and it was just very inaccessible, it felt. So it's a terrible feeling when you feel like you're being silenced a little bit by other people. I was bullied for having passion about different things, for being good at filmmaking. I've been bullied for that. For having good skill level. People don't talk about the other side of things sometimes. When you have a lot of passion, you're really good at something. Sometimes other people don't like it or get jealous or gaslight you for it. Oh, hey there. Hey. Okay, so that was my kid neighbor. I definitely had to say hello to him. But yeah, he's on his scooter right now, so it's pretty great. It's a great friendship. It's like the kids next door. They're always on their scooters and playing, and it's just you could hear them outside playing. It's a great thing. And while I'm talking about that, I want to mention it's great. You could learn a lot from children if you observe them and see their openness and their gratefulness to other people. It's great how generous they are, and they're not afraid of certain kinds of oh, I can't do this because that person won't like me for it. A lot of the time they just have really open hearts, which is really awesome. But let's continue over here. So yeah, how I felt before I was focusing on change making. So yeah, it's a really terrible thing to feel silenced about the things you love, and some parts of the world does that. And it's just, you see, a lot of things going on outside your control, and it could be very painful, feeling like you can't do anything about it. But let's go to the next slide. So this is what change making helped me do. So when I started working with an art volunteering organization, when I worked on, because I was doing a bunch of change making before the pandemic, but I'd go through these periods of time where I wasn't working on this kind of stuff, doing that kind of volunteer work or, other kinds of work that was focused on that. And when I had those pauses, I felt kind of sad. For me, I felt like I wasn't doing for myself what I felt like I was meant to do with certain things. What I want to do is combine everything that I know and put it into something that could serve others and help others. Because it's a very satisfying thing. You feel like you're really getting to the truth of something when you put that kind of stuff together. So, I loved working at the library, doing an ecology club for a year. I did that for the community. I did that in 2015. But yeah, on and off through my life, I've been working on it. So change making really has helped me find adventure, connect with people that I would not have connected to, help change other people's lives, because, there's people want to make a change, but there's no clear, accessible thing out there to say, this is the way you do it, So change making has helped me, with volunteering, helps me feel more hope for the world because I see the change happening as I speak the change. So a lot of it is about speaking the change. You're creating a lot of good energy. When you create change, you're creating it in your life. You become kind of indestructible and a lot stronger. And you give hope to a lot of people because they see, oh, wow, there is somebody out there who's working to make this place better without just doing it for money. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying you can't do change making and make money because they go hand in hand. When you have money, you're able to create things you wouldn't have been able to create. Like money is energy, I heard recently from somewhere. Money is, you can put the energy into one thing or another. You use it like a magnifying glass to magnify whatever effect you want to make in the world. So it's a very different way. It's an energy that you gain you gain a certain amount of it once you get the money. But it's quite interesting. So you want to, let's see, take control. Yeah, it helps you feel like you're taking control, gives inner peace, and it helps overcome fears because you realize that there's a lot of illusions out there in the world that are not as insurmountable as you think they are. So it's pretty epic to work on change making. And change making, again, can be just, work that helps others, volunteering, speaking, even in your everyday conversations. Change making can be complimenting a random person. Change making also is drawing your boundary line. So while you're generous with the way you speak, you also have to make sure that you're filling your own cup first, and making sure that, you're, how do you say, generous. But if somebody crosses a boundary line, you also have to speak up for yourself and say what you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with, and also say if you're too busy to do something. So change making comes with a lot of boundary line drawing, so I wanted to mention that. All right, so the theme of this one that I originally said is free Chrome extensions to help with change making. So this is a little bit of a different bent on Chrome extensions because usually it's just like productivity, which I'm all into productivity. I'm productivity, but it's also important to emphasize underneath it all what it could be used for and the powerful potential it has to change a lot of lives. I remember when I worked at Wunderman Thompson, a WPP, which is now VML. It used to be VML, Y, and R, and they combined. So I worked with them for a bit, and I did some art direction, commercial writing. And the thing is I really wanted to use that time, that power, because I was working on a Super Bowl commercial pitch. And my concept was to create as much positive change and representation as possible, because I knew 120 million people, maybe 80 million, a lot of people were going to be watching that day. And I was like, hey, well, all these eyes are here. What kind of change? Imagine the massive change advertising can make because it reaches so many people. Imagine the peace it could create if used the right way, So that was an unusual use for, but yeah. Change making can be found in any profession, any place, anywhere, any body. Everybody can be capable of creating positive change, even the people that you don't love or even like very much. Everybody's important in this. This is the thing about change making, is you don't just need one person for it. We need everybody. Everybody's important. And doesn't mean you expose yourself to toxic behaving people, but it just means having the underneath understanding that everyone's really important. We're all here for a reason. So Chrome extensions. All right, so to create change, what do you need? You need three things. There are 3 steps of what you need. There's, you need to have more time. So I'm not saying you need to have a lot of time, you just need to have a bit more time. You need to amplify your voice. Oh, there's a leaf. Number 2, you need to amplify your voice. So making your voice louder, more heard, more seen by a lot of different people. And you need to be able to communicate with others, which means you need to be able to reach them in the heart and understand how to communicate. So we're going to be covering all 3 of these and talking about how Google Chrome extensions can actually do this, achieve this, which is crazy, for free. And so this is, again, breaking the myth that you need a lot of money to create a lot of great change. And you have a friend network. Utilize that. That's crazy, how we all have friend networks and stuff. Let's see. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that that was in order. So in terms of, for example, McDonald's gluten-free. Like, oh yeah, this is a joke. This is a joke. But I created an ideogram, which is an AI software to create images. I created these fake McDonald's gluten-free menu images. Positive change making. No, I don't know if that even counts as positive change. I mean, it does. You know, more people need to eat healthier. I think that counts. That's a joke. But yeah, have more time, amplify your voice, communicate with others. So time, voice, connection. Those are the three things. Time, voice, connection. So let's talk about time. And Google Chrome extensions, I just want to say real quick what they are. They are elements and items that like modify. And I didn't really know this existed until not too long ago. It's crazy. And I don't think a lot of people do either, but they're like these weird app things that go into your browser that can modify websites just by you looking at them. Sometimes they could change the color of websites. Sometimes, you know, your YouTube can look totally different. Like it can make it glow. Like they're like mods, like modifiers for websites you already use. They add new features. You know, they have them for Gmail. They have them for tons of things. So it's crazy. So I just wanted to, cover some of these because they change the software you currently use and make you more productive with it, more fast, more fun. So let's start with automatic tab opener. It's great for doing specific tasks on specific days of the week. So with automatic tab opener, basically what you do is you open tabs. So you have your tabs open, then there's a button that drops down. Wait, what is it? Oh yeah, you set it up and you pre-program and say, okay, on Mondays I want these tabs to open on my computers. Tuesdays I want these open. Wednesdays I want. So it's super great way to like save brain space and stress and stuff. And it's just like automates that part of your computer. Then, all right, save time. These are time savers. Bookmark quick search. So you can access your positive change resources in a jiffy, whether you need to create resources or share them with others. So your bookmarks are always really, you have to go into another tab or another something or another in order to find your bookmarks. But instead, this just adds a little button at the top of your browser that you can click and search your bookmarks, which is super helpful. And you don't have to go through all these menus. It saves a lot of time. It's really good. Then we have Mail My Tabs. So Mail My Tabs is really cool because it's just a one button click. Again, it adds a little button at the top of your browser where you click it, and it will just email like all your tabs that are currently open to whoever you want. Instead of copying and pasting like 20 times or something like that, 30 times, think that could save like 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Could save a lot of brain space, really helpful. Next we have Poobler. How do you say that, Poobler? I'll just call it Poobler. So, Publer, probably Publer. So, what it allows you to do for free, again, we're moving on to right now voice, because you're just talking about time, saving time. How do you create more time in your life? So those are some time savers that can really just help you start moving in that direction. So in terms of amplifying your voice, Poobler is a great way because it cuts down like so much time. All you have to do, it's a very user-friendly app or online software. Like you could take anything from your computer, from your phone, whatever. Think of the time it would take to like, you'd have to go through like 10 steps just to publish on your computer on Instagram. You go through like 5 or 10 button pushes. And then on TikTok, you'd have to go through another 10, maybe 7. And then on YouTube, say for instance, you'd have to go through another 10, 15, right? That's like 40 button pushes, 50 buttons, and then you have to read and think. Whereas with this, it's just one platform, one screen, and all you have to do is put in the image or images or photo, like video that you want, select your 3 favorite platforms, press a button, and simultaneously it automatically publishes on like 3 platforms at once. It's crazy, and it's so easy to use. Very nice interface. I use it now, and saves so much time. This will amplify your voice so much, because imagine instead of just one place, 3 places at once. Just boom, boom, and it's really good. Really, really good. Okay. Another way to amplify your voice and your message for your positive change, let me see for this. So yeah, this would be good if you're like posting things about anything that has to do with your favorite cause at the moment, like, or your current cause that you want to advocate for, whether that's like food shortages in the world, or you know, refugee rights, war zones in the world. You can raise awareness about that using the previous app, Publer, where it'll go to three different platforms at once rather than one. Really good. So in terms of another voice thing is the Hypothesis Meme Maker. It's called Epic Meme Creator. I built it, I coded it, and I will be sending these links in an email to all the participants that signed up. So I'm going to, basically what this does. So a lot of people don't think about this right away. Oh, my shoes. I should do that. A lot of people don't think about this, but memes are actually one of the best ways to get your message out to a lot of different people. Because humor, like I say right there, is a great way to get big messages to more people because it's acceptable and it adds a cushioning to really tough concepts. World hunger or, I meant, that's kind of funny the way I wrote that, world hunger or blank. But no, this is a great way to make people listen. Like, for example, over there, I created a meme that says golden gluten-free Oreos, button push, blue button push. That means they're really good. That means I love them. But you can put something positive change related, like, working on world hunger, and then the hand could be going towards the blue button, and then people will be like, oh yeah, I get that. You could be very creative. So it's a very good tool. This also has no watermark, and it's not a Chrome extension, but I feel like it made sense to put in for the voice area. All right, so let's go on to the connection area. So you got to connect with people, connect with the right people, connect with people who will actually listen to you. You don't want to go too long around people who treat you like a ghost, because trust me, it is not good for the state of mind. It is not good to it just doesn't feel good. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure everybody keeps that in mind. I was just checking the time to make sure I'm going within the time range. Yeah, so you don't want to spend too much time around people who make you feel like a ghost, or try to make you feel like a ghost, or don't listen to you, and you've been there for them, and it just doesn't feel right when people, when you surround yourself with certain types of disrespect. It's not a good thing. So make sure before you venture out in that area, I would highly suggest trying to build up an area where you have people who are respecting you. So that's mentally, as a change maker, you need to make sure you fortify yourself, keep yourself healthy, and make sure that you're planting yourself in an environment where you can grow before handling the tougher crowds. Very important. So yeah, keep track of Changemaker people on your different social media platforms by adding sticky notes to their pages that only you can see. So this is a great way to use the app. My shoe, why do they keep suctioning? Notes Anywhere. So Notes Anywhere, yeah, you can add like virtual sticky notes on your browser. Nobody sees it but you. So it's a fantastic way to just keep track and add sticky notes to any website you want. Notes on people, say, oh yeah, that's what they suggested, or that's what they offer. And when you visit their page, the note comes up. It's very helpful. And very unusual. I've never heard anybody, I only found it because I did a deep dive into Chrome extensions. Okay, so next for connection, we have Telby. Now this is insane. The difference that these apps make, honestly, they're so unusual and so amazing. So Telby, what it does is it actually gives you free voice messaging. Waving at my neighbor. Free voice messaging to anyone. So you record a message and you email them the link. So you can actually, instead of an email, you could be so much more personal. I mean, you could really connect with people over voice message. Imagine sending through email, cold email to somebody or anything, you send them a voice message. How cool is that? Not only does that show that you have guts, but it also shows that you're self-assured, you're connected, you're trustworthy. It's just fantastic. And it's a great workaround to sometimes the starkness of email. And then they have the option to record a voice message back to you once they click on it, and just press the button and you get the voice message. It's so crazy, but I think it's just like one of the biggest, best new things, personally. It's called Telby. So I wanted to mention, this is not a Chrome extension, this is a human feature, but it's the power of eye contact. And the power of eye contact, this is extremely important. So right now, if you notice what I'm doing is I'm looking directly into the webcam camera. And maybe you don't recognize the effect it has, but it definitely has an effect. Because if I was looking down here the whole time at the screen, I'm looking at, I don't think it feels as connected. Like, does it feel as connected if I'm looking down here? Like, no. So when I'm looking directly at you, at the camera, even though I don't see your face, the connection goes so much further. So if you find yourself on a video call where you have to pitch something, you're trying to communicate something important to you, trying to make a change, eye contact. If you're in person with somebody and you just look at them the whole time as you talk, or they talk, the connection becomes unreal. You start being able to empathize, feel what the other person's feeling, they start understanding you. It's beyond words. And I used to spend time in places where people didn't make eye contact, and I got really sad, and I felt so disconnected from people. I wasn't realizing it was happening until I later on realized, and I started just avoiding eye contact because I just felt like, oh, I don't want to be looked at, I want to hide with certain things, and I realized that that's not the way to go, that's not the way to communicate. So this is really important, and it just makes you a lot happier when you're able to just make eye contact with people. People love it. So, what will life look like once you start incorporating these Chrome extensions into your life and, living life as a change maker in little bits and pieces, wherever you are, improvising your change making abilities? What will that look like? Well, yeah, tidbits between work or when you're out with friends. You might say something, you might compliment someone randomly, might point something out about them that you like. That's change making. When you're at work, you might find a way you could make somebody a little bit happier, or make something a little bit closer to equality in the world. You never know. Sometimes these opportunities pop up in our workforce, no matter what our occupation is, and we need to seize them, whether you're a nurse, construction worker, anything. Ooh, this is cute, a leaf. But you never know, so staying vigilant and ready with that is super helpful and super fun and inspiring, and it brings so much meaning to the job. Even, there's just a lot of different jobs you could do that with. Any job, that's what I say. Customer service is great too, because you could really change somebody's life by speaking kindly to them on there. Because it's not like you're even going to have to talk to these people again, but if you find the control within yourself to find ways to, a lot of the time, change someone's day, even if you're just talking about their credit card. Like, it's crazy. So what life will look like, people will want to get on your train. You're going to be putting out so many good vibes that you're focused on change making. They're just going to want to join you. They're going to be like, this person is not just focused on money for the sake of money, clout for the sake of clout. Like, they're looking at the bottom line here, and that's just going to attract so much good energy to you. Other resources, so if I move this aside, you will be mailed the recording, these slides, and the Chrome extension links. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, book for interchange making, like a whisper in the wind. So I recently published this book, self-published on Amazon, September 21st, as you can see. And yeah, you can check that out if you feel like that's something that you would connect to. And let's see. Yes, another message is don't erase yourself. So please just don't erase yourself, because sometimes we erase parts of our personality in order to make other people more comfortable or more happy. We're afraid that we're bragging. There's no such thing as bragging if you're just sharing what you love. If you share what you've worked on, if you shared your successes, that's not bragging. Don't erase yourself. And also remember this, you are beautiful. Your imperfect neighbor is beautiful. Those who you have challenges with are beautiful. And we are all beautiful. So remember that. And let's make some change. All right. Now let's stop the screen share. And that was awesome. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. And yeah, let's keep going forward.